As you know, Africa is a very large continent. It's probably one of the largest continents in the globe, and we have 54 countries in Africa. And SEW South Africa is one of them, and we look after 24 of these countries from South Africa. So for us it's critical, to make sure that we become part of the continent and increase our footprint in Africa, because as you know, Africa is the future, and with these 54 countries that we have in Africa, we have to make sure that the opportunities that are out there, that we actually go, because we need to grow. And for us it's critical as a global player in the marketplace to grow and become part of the African community. We are looking at expanding into Africa, and our strategy is reasonably simple. As you know, like I mentioned, there's 54 countries in Africa. We are not able to open up in every African country. So we basically have a strategy where we go through the what we call a growth feeder of companies and countries, where the economies and stabilization and sustainability are a good factor in these countries. And then we basically expand into these countries, and we've got to say that we expand into about 4 countries in a year, which we then put our own staff in. When I mean our own staff, local staff from the countries. And obviously with the new head office, it was a need. There was a definite need. The new office was required to us to meet these requirements in Africa. So we had to basically increase our stock holding to keep up with the local demand of our product. And for us, since the head office has taken traction, it's really been a great, for us, a success story, and we've grown from strength to strength. We're present in every industry, from mining through to agriculture, into automotive, every industry you can actually think of. So for us it's important that we keep that mindset and increase our footprint in all these industries. Africa is a growing continent. The GDP is growing at 6.3%, I think, at the present moment. And there's many countries that especially from the agricultural side and from infrastructure. Infrastructure they're spending in the region of 100 billion on infrastructure in Africa. And we have to be part of this, because that is part of Africa, and that is what we want to be part of. For us to open up our own assembly plants, our own sales offices in all these individual countries as we go along, one by one, and we find it far easier. COVID taught us that we need to be able to depend on each other and make sure that we are able to be in all these other countries, because when COVID and they closed the borders, we had no access to any of these countries, and if we had our own localized staff, and this is possibly the only way we feel that you can become successful in all the African countries and make a success of it, by localization. And many of the African countries are industrial, they're industrializing, they're digitalizing, and we in turn have to become localized. Basically a new word, buzzword, localization is a big word, and it's something that we have to take part in.